The U.S. dollar is the world's leading reserve currency, so of course it has to be trustworthy and distinctive.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's the job of the government agency that has been printing American banknotes for more than 150 years.
VOA's Julie Taboh went to the Bureau of Engraving and Printing to see firsthand how U.S. money is being made. And in this On Assignment Rewind segment, Julie tells Rebecca Ward about what she saw at the Bureau.
We didn't get to see every room because some of the rooms where the bills are actually inspected is off limits to everyone, at least from the outside world. But what struck me immediately upon getting there, the first room, was kind of quiet. There were a few machines going, so it was more sedate than I thought it would be. It is obviously, very high security areas that they have to be in. They're handling money at pretty much every stage, but everything is also very mechanized. So even though there are some elements that remain from years back, 150 years or more, a lot of that obviously negates having to have a lot of people on the job.
Bureau Director Larry Felix says creating a United States banknote from start to finish is a very complex process.
It looks like ink on paper, and it is ink on paper, but there are extraordinary amount of systems that are on that banknote.
During the first stage of printing, the background color is applied. Next, the notes are pressed into inked, engraved plates. This intaglio technique gives bills their distinctive texture.
What U.S. currency is very different is, that makes it different than other banknotes around the world, is it has this distinctive feel. And part of that's also because it's made with linen and cotton. So it makes it a little bit more nice to the touch than, say, if it was just all cotton. Also with the new $100 bill, that's an example of where they've used new technology to incorporate security features that make it even harder for counterfeiters.
Let's talk about that $100 bill, though, because a few years ago they did change, like Jackson is all of a sudden a little bit bigger than he used to be on the bill. But the $100 bill looks really different, has a yellow color, which is I've never seen before.
You know, what's interesting is in my conversation with Treasurer Rios, she mentioned that at the same time, they want to keep the banknotes consistent. They want to keep it so that it's user-friendly and that people identify it right away. So certain features they've kept. So Benjamin Franklin's still on it, but he's more to the side. There is a 3D ribbon that she talks about, a blue 3D ribbon, and when she holds it, you can see that it's like a hologram, but she said far, far more sophisticated than a hologram. And then there's a little inkwell in gold, the bottom right-hand corner. And when you move that back and forth, you see a $100 bill and I believe it's a bell that goes back and forth. But also, keeping in mind that they're trying to also make it user-friendly, there's also on the back the denomination of the $100. The actual number is bigger and it's gold, so it's very prominent, and so someone who is visually impaired can take a look and see right away that it's, the $100 bill.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the history. First of all, I'm curious, how does one get on a U.S. banknote?
Well, you have to be dead nowadays.
Okay, well.
You didn't used to have to. Obviously, Abraham Lincoln is on the banknote, and he was on it while he was still alive. Treasurer Rios pointed out that if you were to look through all our currencies from the past, it sort of does reflect a little bit of U.S. history.
What was the most surprising factoid you might have learned?
There was a lot of interesting facts, but I think for me, the fact that over 60% or 60% of U.S. currency circulates overseas. So to think that American banknotes, 60% of them, are circulating overseas was very striking. It's obviously a very popular currency, and a lot of people are trusting it and using it, sometimes in lieu of their own currency. So that was something that emerged from our conversation with Larry Felix that was somewhat surprising.
And how many bills, or what's the denomination, I guess, in pure numbers that they print every year?
Well, I just know that they print billions between the two bureaus. There's the Washington and also in Texas. Texas prints a little bit more than half. So between the two of them, millions every day, billions every year.
All right, and again, thanks to VOA's Julie Taboh. Phil, today the biggest U.S. Federal Reserve notes are only $100 bills, but about 100 years ago, your wallet could have held 5 or more types of currency in denominations up to $10,000.
Whoa, imagine losing just one of those.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that.
Well,